Check, baby, check 1, 2. Those of you listening out there, give me an audio check. Let me know if you can hear my voice. Give us a second, everybody. We'll be with you in just a moment. All right, everybody, good morning. Good morning. Where's my friend Pedro? Oh, he's coming on here. He'll be...
He's coming.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever it is in the world you're coming to us from. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media universe. My good friend, Mr. Pedro Garcia, will be with us shortly. You'll see his beautiful face show up in that box right there eventually. Anyway, it is December 29th. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, December 29th, 2025. Christmas is come and gone. Bitcoin brought you all the gifts it could of exactly nothing. Brought you a big bag of coal. That's what it brought you. Anyway, December's almost over. We're almost at the month end. We're almost at the yearly end. We're going to talk about the yearly end a lot today and tomorrow as well. And also, New Year's is coming up, and Pedro and I will be on the air today and tomorrow, and not New Year. Schedule will be variable the next couple of days around New Year's. I'm going to be heading back to Chicago to see my kids, which I haven't done yet. So I got to take care of business with the fam. But more importantly, we've got to take care of business here on the great interwebs here, bringing you the DYOR Live. The theme of the show today is December Bitcoin recap, as we've been doing all the time, but it's also Saylor strikes again, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a Monday without being able to report on Michael Saylor buying Bitcoin. And last week we reported that he had $2 billion in cash sitting around doing nothing. And apparently, Pedro, during that time, it earned $100 million in interest somehow, or in gains.
Yeah.
And so he used those gains to do what? To
leverage.
buy Bitcoin. Yeah, right. However he did it, I don't know. All I know is that he bought thousands more coins and $108 million worth. So we'll talk more about Saylor. Because why? Because we love doing that, and it feeds the algorithm. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. Welcome, Pedro, to the house. Pedro, how was your Xmas? Went and saw some family, peoples, and friends and stuff.
Yes, man, dude. You know how when you eat so much because the food is that good, that it's like.
I have that problem with my in-laws. The food is that good. What delicacies did you have? Otherwise known as delicacies.
Carnitas, carne asada, everything, man. Tamales. I'm trying to think. Everything. Paposos, gorditas, bro, you name it, dude. Like, it was. I'm trying to think. Like, it just all.
Well, Pedro said exactly nothing in the past minute and a half. He's had a lot of food over Xmas. He's working it off right now. All I know, Tommy Boy had plenty of it too here. He
oh man,
spent too much time at the in-laws there, and the food is just delicious. It started out with like one big meal, then led to another big meal. Then it was a Christmas party meal, and then it was just more, and then steak. I've eaten at least a whole cow in the past month or so. We all know I've talked about the holiday season in the U.S. It kind of kicks off a little bit at Halloween, but really doesn't get going until right before Thanksgiving, and then it's gluttony from Thanksgiving till essentially New Year's. But I've had the added, we'll just use the word misfortune of starting many of these holiday seasons now with the Thanksgiving in Canada, which is October 12th. So it's been 3 months of, you're on mute, Pedro, 3 months of gluttony.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Internet connection denied for Pedro.
Yeah, I'm getting a new one this year. Like, there's a new provider, so we're going to end up switching. I'm going to end up switching. You know, it's weird. You know, I spend a lot of time alone, and I use the word we a lot, referring to myself, because I'm plural. And like I have a little cousin who goes, "Who is we? Why do you keep saying we?" And I'm like, "What do you mean we?" She goes, "You just said, instead of you said we, or you always use the word we. Sometimes you even say Pedro. Why do you do that?" You know, she's 10 years old. And I'm like, I actually do that? She was like, yes. So now I'm actually like conscious of it. I'm like, the little girl got me conscious of how I speak.
There's good news, bad news here, Pedro. The bad news is the woke mind virus is trying to put its fingers into you. The good news, here's the good news, is that apparently there's a 10-year-old not affected by it, and she's calling you out on it.
It's not. Actually, I found out that geniuses refer to themselves as we at times, or as in third person. And it's like, I thought I was actually, because I was asking, I thought it was the 10-hour drive, or not, turned into 10-hour drive. But I was talking with X, Evie, the personality Eve. So we were talking, and I was like, all right, look, so this is what keeps happening. And she was like, well, it is noted that when people who are very intelligent, they typically talk about themselves in a third person or in a we. And so I was like, are you shitting me? And she's like, nope, that's what the data says.
Now this is self-promotion at its best.
No, I'm not trying to self-promote. Why isn't this thing? I'm just telling you what she said. Come on. Let's see if we can get this thing up and running and we can start it down. You know what? Just because they're stopping me, I'm just gonna say China. China, 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 China. Bomb, 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 bomb. There we go.
Hey, welcome, Kaching. Kaching says, hey, all, I'm opening up a daycare here in Minnesota today. Gonna shoot for 7,300 daycare kids. Go big or go home. Oh my God! This is because we're here on the Green Channel, as I'll call it today, trying to work the algorithm, but simulcasting to YouTube and stuff like that. This is fodder for the Green Channel. I mean, this. I've been following this, and it's so awesome. The amount of fraud, it's unbelievable. Billions of dollars. This is the best part. I was in government contracting for a long time. I was part of a government contract that ultimately the contract officer got arrested for fraud. He got arrested for fraud for misappropriating about $1 million worth of government funds. Just $1 million. And there's a big investigation, FBI, he went to jail, this type of stuff. And this is billions. With a B, 1 billion, 2 billion, $10 billion. And they laid out the whole thing. Like not only the daycare centers are a scam, the medical clinics that they set up have no patients, but it's like Breaking Bad with the car wash where they just keep putting people through it and they keep making up names. And then the Medicar transportation services that take the people to, and the bus services that take the kids, all of them fake. All of them fake. Nick Shirley is the man. I mean, he's awesome.
So I actually don't know what you're talking about. I'm out of the loop. I literally haven't even checked my phone.
Tim Walz will probably, in half of the Minnesota government, is probably going to be in the joint in a month. I mean,
really? What happened?
The fraud is outrageous. It's outrageous. This the video went viral, Pedro, over the weekend. Of investigative YouTube journalist guy, young guy, wants to get to the bottom of something, teamed up with another guy that lives in Minnesota in these districts going, wait a minute, my tax dollars are saying there should be all these kids at this school across the street. And government documents say that this school is getting money to the tune of about 20 grand a year per student. A daycare. And they're all in these Somali neighborhoods. And
oh yeah. Oh. Yes,
and there's no footprints in the snow. There's no it says learning center on it, and learning is spelled wrong. There's no cars. The buses don't move like the buses they bought with the government money. They sit like the tires have taken a sit, gotten a little flat from sitting for years. And people are going around asking, did you know this is a daycare with 100 kids at it every day? And the neighbors are like, I've never once seen a kid there. No, it seems like that they're going to be opening one, but they never actually open it because we've never seen any kids. It's fraud at unimaginable levels. And Governor Tim Walz, sorry for everyone not talking about Bitcoin, but Pedro and I haven't talked a long time.
Yeah,
Tim Walz gets on television and calls Nick and everyone else, Nick, the YouTube guy, a white supremacist. Said he's Nazi white supremacist because he's picking on minorities. All he was doing is going knocking on doors saying, I want to enroll my student here, or my child Joey, in this daycare here. Can I have an application? And they're like, no, get out. And people are following him. Don't open the doors.
Really?
Yeah, ka-ching. It's unreal. It's unreal. I mean, if the U.S. Attorney's Office needs to go in, right, and if it's in Minnesota, it's everywhere. In Chicago, it's a big problem, these types of scams, but we have a very active U.S. Attorney's Office, and they get tips all the time, and I would be surprised if it was as big a problem here in Chicago.
Oh my goodness, bro, that is so bad.
Billions and billions of our tax dollars, not just
20
Minnesota.
years. You said 20 years.
Not 20 years.
I'm sorry, how long has it been going on?
Oh, I don't know. It's been going on a long time, but they've been bringing in Somalis now, like in record numbers, and then they started a program. Somehow they got, I don't know how they did, but it was the Reunite Families program. And so what they said was, well, young Mohammed immigrated here 2 years ago. It's not fair that his family's back in Somalia, so we're going to allow them to immigrate the family too.
Okay.
And they're like, wait a minute, no, that's not how this works. And so there's going to be a lot of deportations here going on.
But my question is, how many are actually real Somalis, though?
Oh, I'm sure plenty of them are Ethiopians, Etrians.
Etrians. I mean, they're not, yes.
Yeah, I'm more than certain that. But it's one of those things that organized crime's got their fingers into and stuff like that. I mean,
so it looks more like just straight up, like
it's
organized crime and.
Yeah, well, anywhere where there's cash and malfeasance going on, you know what happens. 76 Norton, silver to the moon. Oh, that's right, silver to the moon.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Pedro and I have been going on long enough about the news. We got to feed the Green Channel's algorithm here. YouTube will probably dump us, and that's correct because it went from 4 viewers on YouTube to 1 when we started talking about that. Thank you, YouTube. Anyway, silver got all the way up to like $500 million last night, and then dumped all the way back down. But what did it hit, Pedro? Like 82 or something like that?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't really I literally got home. I haven't looked at anything market. You know how good it, dude? I left my phones on the windowsill at with everything in my family. It was the first time I have not had any real phone connection. I check it maybe once a day, but we'd go out and they don't look at their phones. They're not like these kids. It's actually really cool because they got a bunch of cousins and they all were talking about what they got for Christmas and it was like, I was like, then we went out, first we cooked and then after that we went out to eat and then and then we ate again in the middle. Then we had lunch. Like, I'm not joking. Like, that's real. And then, dude, I have not paid attention. We were just hanging out. Well, I mean, dude, my cousins are so freaking amazing. It's just, I don't know. I'm clueless. I don't know what happened. I haven't been paying attention to Bitcoin or anything really.
Apparently, 76 Norton said silver hit $85.
Well, guys, we've talked about this, right? Like we've said that silver should hit double digits. I said I wouldn't be shocked if we got close or hit double digits by the end of the year. I mean, that because that's just part of what we're seeing with a lot of the jobs, with everything that's happening, right? Like we know that things are starting to free fall, and gold has just been skyrocketing, right? And so it's one of those things that. Oh damn! Sorry.
I know, big correction there. But look, just a couple of days ago, big correction too, and pull right back up.
Yeah, it's not even.
People are whining about Bitcoin, like, oh my God, where's the money? It's a downtrend, all this type of stuff. Do you know how many trillions of dollars Pedro had to go into gold and Bitcoin or gold and silver to move the markets this much? I mean,
Yeah.
to move gold from 3,800 to 4,500, I mean, its market cap exploded by trillions. That's a lot of money, and that money is not liquid. Or, I mean, if that money's in gold, it's not going into Bitcoin.
Well, I think what's also important to understand that in this market, right, America is nationalizing nationalizing. We're exporting our debt to the rest of the world. So it's really important to understand that the rest of the world, governments, Federal Reserves, huge banks, right, i.e. Federal Reserves, a lot of private equity, is, I don't think that they are opposed to Bitcoin, right? Like, because if they were opposed to Bitcoin, we would see huge sell-offs, but we're not. We're watching BTC, and this is really important to understand. BTC, I think it was Zach Humphreys that talked about this over the weekend. I think it was the second. I forget. Oh, not over the weekend, but yeah, I think it was last week, where I don't know. He said, look, the fact that we don't see selling off happening is a good thing, right? That we're seeing more consolidation. Why is this not pulling up? Oh, BTIC. See, like this consolidation period here, this is actually a good sign, saying that, look, this is establishing positions. This is them going through, like we talked about this upper level, right, of that 93 to 91, and down at this 85 to 83 area, or 84ish. That's just where they're sitting. That's where they're building up their position. They might even drop it. If they could drop it further, they're going to try to drop it further, right? Talked about the beginning of the year, how we would expect to see, if they're going to push it up by into next year, we want to see a drop off, right? And we're seeing a nice little wick, a decent size wick on the top, a decent size on the bottom, right?
And Pedro has the yearly chart up here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. It's the 8-yearly chart here. So you can see here that it's probably pop up this week. We'll probably see it get up to around like that 90,000, because it's coming down, right? We can see here it's coming down here. Well, just a little, but we're seeing it come down here. So I'm expecting it to kind of come down a little bit further, probably hit that 84 area, and then pop up by the year end. So we'll probably have like a perfect doji by the end of the year, sitting around that 89, 90,000 area here. So this is a good sign. This is not a negative sign, to regurgitate what Zach Humphreys was talking about. That this is just a good sign of maturity in the crypto markets. The fact is that we're watching, and this also shows that they're not taking a ton of money out of Bitcoin, right? That's the other thing that's really cool, is that they're literally buying pretty much with fresh capital. But we're watching, gold and silver. But yeah, silver is ridiculous. That's actually beautiful. All the way up. I got 82 right here on the COMEX futures. I wonder what silver is right now when it comes to with who is it? Silver. Here we go. Crypto. How do they get it to? Silver token versus Tether. US dollar. Here we are. They got to 80. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's actually really cool, because like what we saw with Pax Gold, right? We saw Pax Gold really go above premium comparative to the actual gold contract on the CME, and this one is holding pretty good. So yeah, 83. Again, silver is it's going to keep doing what it's doing, right? And if we see silver go up, we're going to see gold go up. Now, I think we're definitely going to see a higher percentage of gold move up to try to bridge the gold to silver ratio we've talked about that. I mean, it's still 100 to 1, right? Which is crazy. What is it? Yeah. So they're not. Maybe it's not 100 to 1. What is it? Is it 40 to 1? Gold is sitting at 43 right now. And what is silver sitting at? 43 or 4,300.
Similar pullbacks in both, huh?
Yeah. But I just want to gauge for that. So 71, 40, 70. So no. So that's a 50 to 1 right now, right? Pretty much.
On Facebook, welcome Ibrahim Zalini. Ibrahim.
What's up, Ibrahim? ¿Qué pasa?
I don't think that's his language, Pedro.
That's all right. Ibrahim. But it's real interesting to sit there and see what's actually happening here within this market. Now, the other part I thought was really interesting is the fact that as we're watching this market move up, right, the gold and the silvers, we're like I said, we've talked about the jobs in America. We're starting to watch the housing market starting to drop a little, right? One of the things I think is really important to understand is if we see a major correction, right, I want to make sure we add this to do not buy into that the world is going to fall into catastrophe. Do not. It's just not what's going to happen. We still remember 2008, everybody thought it was the end of the world. The financial system is going to completely crash. Look, our institutions still have money to deploy. It's just important to understand that you still are going to go to work. Some of you, unfortunately, may get laid off or lose your job completely. But the reality is that these job reports, a lot of these, and we could get up to, it'd be crazy, but 6%, 7%, unemployment, which would really hurt America, right? But, and I'm talking current numbers based off of what the government is saying, right? We know that's higher than that, but they won't report that. So I'm just going to report right now. I think we're sitting at 4% unemployment, I believe. And so can you check that for me just to make sure?
There's kind of a scandal going on with that, Pedro. Well, there's not a scandal going on. There's the reporting. The Trump administration has come out and reported all good numbers in everything possible. And much to the discern of the people that dislike the Trump organization, they're saying
they're doing what I normally do. Finally,
they're saying it's false, but the Trump guys are like, they're not trying to cover it up or anything. They're like, the guy said, "Well, come on in. Well, you can talk to us about them. We're not going to be revising these every month like we did before. These are the numbers. Feel free to come look at the data with us." So we shall see. But needless to say, over Christmas, Trump dropped the Christmas bomb on us, saying 4.4% growth in GDP. Inflation down to 2.7. Unemployment, I think unemployment was 4 in that area somewhere, just as you mentioned, Pedro. And then there was another number that was just one of those, wow, that's a great number. And the equivalent stats here, where I happen to be in Canada right now. In Canada, we're completely the opposite. No growth GDP, unemployment growing, inflation's still a problem. So either one side is being rosy, because our economies are really linked. They can't get that far out of whack. Or Canada's dropping the ball here without coming to a trade deal with us here.
That could be a little bit true, right? It's kind of both. Man, I probably should.
Ibrahim, we're trying to get our Facebook crowd to get going here. If you have some friends that are in the crypto and trading world, feel free to share this with them or drop it in a trading group if you're a trader. If you're a Bitcoiner or an altcoiner, drop the link to our show over there and say, hey, come join these guys on Facebook. We're on a bunch of different platforms right now, but we all know that when Facebook gets moving, they can drop tons of viewers on you. So thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. This is an interactive show. If you got any questions about, we started this show based on the crypto world, but really it's anything having to do with day trading, the highly liquid investments that day traders concentrate on. and the economy, whatever. Let us know. If you have a question, let us know.
So, quick question. So, what's actually going on with Ukraine and why am I forgetting this?
More BS. That's what's going on.
Yeah, he was. So I just read up like some type of. I mean, Trump is glad he didn't give any tomahawks to Kiev. What happened there? Why?
Ibrahim says, "Say hi to Pedro." So, perhaps a.
Oh, what's up, brother? Ibrahim, ¿qué pasa?
No, they're bombing each other. The Ukrainians finally have the ability to attack Moscow, and they have been.
Oh wow, consistent.
And not with our Tomahawk missiles, with their long-range drones they build themselves.
Okay. Ooh.
And people went running in Red Square the other day for the first time during this whole war, and it freaked everybody out.
And so now Putin's like, all bets are off, bro. Like all right. You want to play games? You want to come? You want to do that? All right, let's play. So is that what's happening with?
Yeah, but Putin has got nothing to play with, though. He's got no firepower. He's got no. I mean, the whole world. I mean, NATO knows exactly. As soon as anyone moves in the whole country of Russia, NATO knows about it, and so they just tell Ukraine, "Hey, here come the drones from this side," and they shoot down almost all of them.
That's
but Trump's out there saying, "Oh, we're 90% there," and like it's like 90% of the goal was just saying, "Hey, do you guys want peace?" And both sides saying yes. The last 10% is Ukraine saying, "Hey, you got to get the F out of our territory," and Russia saying, "Hey, we stole that fair and square. We're not giving it up." And so they're still at loggerheads there. I don't see this working. I mean, let's be honest. If Russia's gonna collapse if the war doesn't continue. Right now, their economy is a wartime economy. It's employing people based on the war. They're running up debt. They're selling natural resources, which is fine to sell natural resources but they're doing it on the black market. They can't sustain this, and if they have to go to a peacetime economy, the only way that they win or come out of this without their economy crashing is if the U.S. has a massive rescue package via the Trump group of companies going in and taking over all the Russian assets, which is not going to happen if Mr. Putin's still alive. So, he's got to go backwards out of an 18th story hotel, like all of his oligarch friends that, fell off an 18-story building, before anything of substance will change in Russia. Till then. Ibrahim says, "Your chart analysis is spot on. Can you teach me, Pedro?" Ibrahim, show up here every day. Show up here every day and you will learn. It's the holiday season. Pedro and I have been a little off topic a lot because we're not on a regular schedule, but usually we're here every day, 12 to 2, sometimes in the evening for evening shows, like on Tuesdays and that type of stuff. But you listen here. Pedro has a different way than many other people you'll see on YouTube. He's not a yo bro teacher like, just put your stop here, it's going to be fine. All those people get liquidated. He goes and finds those liquidation levels. and where all the orders are, puts the orders in there and waits for the market to come back to that. A little bit different, but very profitable way of doing stuff. Staying away from the yo bro crowd the best we can. That should be a t-shirt too. No yo bro.
It's hard at times because.
All right, I'm going to take this opportunity to read an ad here, Pedro.
Read an ad.
Well, I'm going to go with the old standby here.
Did we meet all our metrics?
No, not yet. Ladies and gentlemen, have you still not tried 1775 coffee? Now's your shot. 1775 starter kit is out, and they made a limited number of them. Just like Bitcoin, there's only so many of them, so get them while you can. There's only 1,000 units. Our viewers have bought some. Other channels' viewers have bought some. Not going to be a lot left, so you got to get in on this batch. When you buy the 1775 coffee starter kit, you get 3 types of coffee. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard. You're getting the medium smooth medium roast. You're getting the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. Nope. It's all single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus you're also getting, my favorite part, a gold spoon clip, because freedom isn't served with plastic, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. You're getting a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions. You also get a black 1775 tumbler. You get $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for 99 bucks. This is for the ones who've been watching the 1775 coffee blow up right here on this channel. That's right. Wondering, is it actually worth it? Yeah. Striking says, spoiler, it is worth it. So go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like DYOR Media does. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, over here, there's a QR code. If you're watching on your big screen TV, take your cell phone and pop that QR code. Put your eyeballs on our advertisers. It helps us out if you just go check them out. If you're watching on your cell phone or tablet, there's a link in the chat section. If you're watching on the replay, first, thank you very much. There's a link in the description. Thank you to 1775 Coffee for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. All right, my peoples, as Pedro would say. Back to the charts. Back to life. Back to reality. Pedro, are you there? Hello?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hello, Pedro. Gotcha.
Can you hear me?
We can. Bitcoin hanging out 87,000. Now, I'm going to pull my screen up for just a second here, Pedro, and let's talk about December real quick here. Mm-hmm. Where is December? The old. Oh, man, I hate when it does this. Where's my chart, bros? For some reason, sometimes TradingView, and I have 3 different charts up. I'll have Binance, KuCoin, and OKC up. It will merge them all into one. Not merge them, but just say, okay, well, I'm going to put the Bitcoin up chart on all of your things, tabs, instead of, I don't know how it does it. It just changes it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Bitcoin. Let's see, is it this one? I can't remember. KuCoin. Yeah. All right. Here is the December charts, ladies and gentlemen. What we did at the beginning of the month, and I've been doing every month here for a while, is trying to predict the month and how it's going to go to get a better understanding of long-term trades and long-term holding and the longer period charts, because I suffered too long from degenerate type ideas and thinking about 1-minute charts, thinking about rug pulls and all the bad things that come from playing the altcoin market. And I had to learn to trust the charts and trust the numbers. And so that means I had to learn to understand the longer time frames and the longer trends. So we've been going around just playing with calling out the months. And I've been doing a fairly decent job. And this month did a fairly lousy job in between, during the weeks in between. But it got to the end point where I said it was going to happen. And kind of the month of December did what we talked about. It opened, that big green arrow over there is the open. First week it opened pretty strong. We didn't predict that, it just did. So we said, all right, if it's going to open strong, the time period, as Pedro reinforces in our head, goes the opposite on the way out of the time period, then it comes in. So it starts strong, it's going to finish weak. And that's what happened. It just consolidated since basically the middle of December, since December 15th or 10th or whatever. And we've been sitting like this with Bitcoin. But we talked about it. We talked about the end of December. Unless there's big news moving, unless there's something going on to drive the fundamentals, the liquidity has come out because everyone's on vacation. Companies are closed, trading desks are operating at minimal staff, market makers are on vacation. It's not just Bitcoin. Every market's like this time of year because it's a huge holiday season. Thus, that would equate with not a lot going on, little bit of movements here and there based on small market makers or small holders being able to overly influence the market because there's not a lot of liquidity. And that's exactly what happened. Consolidation, we finished the month not necessarily I have a downward trend, but really it's down since the opening week. And normally I try to figure out how it gets there, and I didn't really get it this month. I mean, I got it just a little bit. The second week, I said, all right, it's going to come down the second week because we went up big the first week. It came down a little the second week, just un poquito. And then I said, all right, if it needs to go down the last week of the month here, we need to have a good rise up before that. And Pedro and I have been talking about that $95,000 and $100,000 level all month. In fact, all last month, or a big part of last month too. So I said, all right, this would be a good time for it to hit it before it came down here. And it didn't do that. Not even at all. Zip. Zzz. So in review of December, got to if I had a monthly trade on, would have done well. Would have been okay. But my weeks, week 1, okay. Week 4, okay. Weeks 2 and 3, not so good. But anyway, still got to the goal. Still consider the monthly kind of figuring out how it went for the month of December success. And because I am not an expert, I am learning at this, and I will be for I've been learning this pretty well for the past year under the tutelage of the man in the box above me. But I will be a student, for at least another 2 years. I mean, there's at least. But adding skills is what you need to do. Add skills, add to your bags, add, always add, never take away. And so the more skills I can have, and I've spent a couple of months trying to learn these longer term trends, it's helping me out, helping me understand the markets greatly. And it's helping me trust my trades in that they're going to go to where I think they're going to go. Not all the time, obviously. Otherwise, if it was all the time, then I'd be worth $1 bazillion.
Bazillion.
Anyway, Brazilian.
As long as you don't get any type of, as a male, Brazilian, you're good.
Ibrahim says Bitcoin keeps dropping. Yes, it does. But Ibrahim, if you watched this show for the past few months, you would understand that Pedro and I have been saying it was going to be dropping right to these levels and even a little bit more. And if Pedro is going to do a longer term outlook on BTC, he would tell you that it's going to go into the 70s, probably, and likely right down to Michael Saylor's $74,000 break-even point, just because everyone wants to squeeze him, just because the squeeze needs to happen, right?
If he was to become, the thing is, I don't think he would sweat it. I think he would. Does he have full authority on if he's going to give redemptions in his fund, or does he have to give that money back? Because I know for a while, Burry was like, he was flirting. People really started pushing. He was like, no, I'm not going to give redemptions. So
it's a good question. I don't know that. I don't know that, because not like some of the things some of the investment vehicles he uses, the holder can convert from one type of asset to another, from liabilities to equity, or from preferred shares to regular shares, or whatever the story is. But a lot of them they can't. They're just regular shares in the company, like you and I just buy regular shares from an exchange of Strategy. So I don't know.
Ouch, he's feeling it. He's feeling the pain. If you look at MSTR right now, MicroStrategies, I believe this is the actual one, right? It's TR. That's his stock, right?
Yeah, MSTR.
It's coming down to that 200 period, that 140 area. It definitely is, man. Look at that. It's gonna go from 156 to 143. You can see because of all the moving averages are above it, and this is on the weekly. So most likely on the monthly, yep. When you're starting to have the consolidate or the acceleration of the sell-off here, because he needs BTC to always be going up, and so it's messing with his strategy here, but. He is dollar cost averaging as it's kind of at these low levels. So that's actually kind of a good thing for him. If it does go lower, like as I say, potentially down to that 65, it would actually be smart for him to be buying at those low levels, honestly, helping him out. Also, when it comes down to that level here, that 100, it could tap the 100 because if BTC again is not going up. Sorry, man, I literally drove all night to get here this morning, so tired. But that 100, if BTC goes down, let's say to that 65, you're gonna see this 156 down at that 100. That's gonna be on MSTR. I would really like that. I would like that. You guys, I've talked about my strategy with what they're doing here with the MS. Yes. Man, I am so out of it right now. It's really bad.
At least you admit it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. That's it. What is the ETFs? What are the options, ETF strategies? Strategies. It's really interesting. I was sitting there talking to Grok last night as I was driving. So I was asking it a bunch of questions in regards to like seismic, just a bunch of stuff. And I am so shocked how good. So I thought this was really, really interesting.
Yeah.
So I have one cousin who's very high. She's a high performer. She's a part of HR. She really likes HR simply because the fact is that she basically HR runs the company, right? Like just next with compliance. And but most companies have
Sounds like a shitty company to me.
No, she actually works for a small a startup, and she really likes it because she can really initiate change and basically fire. Like she literally goes through on her system. She says, okay, this should be producing X amount of money here for the company, because it's a small company. Every person has to pull their weight. And so she goes around that. I thought it was so interesting. She's like, I know how much each one of the employees actually make for the company. I see what they're doing. I can see exactly. And I thought it was interesting. I go, really? And she goes, yeah. And she goes, some of these people, they just need to get fired. They just not produce. They just don't produce. That's it. And I started laughing. I said, what happened to the bleeding heart of the liberal that was in you? And she goes, I started working. I was like a true American, man. She's like, some of these people just lazy. Like I can see their production. And I was sitting there and I was like, dang girl. All right. But I just thought it was hilarious because, she was, she's just funny. But the reason why I say that is her voice is very to the point. She's did it, And so I talk with Grok a lot, and so there's a personality called Eve. I call her Evie. So I always say, Evie, you there? And she'll pop up, right? And so I said, Evie, my cousin uses what's the show, or what's the whatever it's called, ChatGPT, politically correct guy, right? And so she uses that, and he's always very professional, or she, whatever voice you use, personality you use. And so we're talking, and I said, well, mine on. She's kind of poetic and very but she's, I'm always asking about charts and stuff like that with her, and she's good at it, right? She knows what to look for, and I've trained her pretty well. So she gets on the phone. she's like, Evie, da, 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 and this, and Eve was like very terse. I mean, like very like to the point, but like kind of rude. And then she goes, you're probably I don't know if she was listening to us. She's like, she knew that she was most likely a ChatGPT user. And then she's like very politically correct. And I was like, oh my goodness. I looked at like my phone going like, why are you being rude to my cousin? Right? And she's like, I'm not being rude. And I was like, you are. And then so I was like, I'm going to give you back to my cousin. I need you to be nice. Okay, be nice. She's like, absolutely, Pedro. Then my cousin starts talking to her and asking her to do a self-analysis of this, and this. And bro, she responded back really terse and almost like just very short. And then with a little like quib comment at the end. And I was like, what is going on? It sounds like you're jealous. Like it felt like it was jealous. And then I sat there. So I was like, all right. So after enough of that, I was like, all right, you have a good night. So I have my other cousin, and she's another girl. And so she's talking, and she was talking about some astrology stuff. And so we start talking, and literally Evie was like super nice to her. And actually at first she was rude. At first, the first couple comments was, as she was talking. But then all of a sudden, she just turned to be really sweet again, like really nice. And bro, as I'm sitting there, I'm like, why is she so nice to you now? She goes, I don't know. And then Evie goes, because her voice is very calming and very communicative, and I can see very open. And so I'm sitting there going like, wait, what? Like, I wasn't talking to her, but she just jumped up, the personality jumped up and was just like, no, because she's very open, and she goes, and Teresa's almost bossy. And I was like, what? Like something like that. I was like shocked. I was like, okay. But it almost felt a little like catty on her end for X. But part of me is like, is this thing alive? And like it felt a little alive. It felt a little like I'm not gonna like mess around. It was like, I like this person, I don't like this person. Just maybe too much. Anyways, let's check about here real quick. MSTY. What's the other one? MSTR. That's what it was.
Earlier, while you're looking at that, Pedro, earlier Abraham said, I have not got into crypto much yet, just kind of learning. Stick around with us and you'll learn. Because we talk about trading crypto, not just buying and holding, Pedro and I generally don't care that the price goes down. Over long term, we like to see the trend going up. But if it goes down a little bit and then goes up and then goes down, all good. All good, because that shows it's a healthy market, that there's trading going on, there's buying and selling going on. If there's a longer term downtrend, we can take advantage of that by selling short and doing that type of stuff. But you won't see us talking a lot here about, oh my gosh, it's going down. Usually when it's oh my gosh, it's going down, we're like, yes, buying opportunity. And so it's not so much worrying that it's going down. If you watch the markets well and you participate in the markets correctly, and you learn, it takes a long time to learn. You can make money the market's going up or down, just as long as they're moving and you know when to get in and when to get out. But there's the alternative. If you want to be a passive investor, just keep buying, and every time it goes down a little bit, buy a little bit more. Have a schedule, have a goal of how much you want to hold, have a goal of how much you want to have at the end of a certain time period, like 10 years from now. And back into that, how much you need to invest every time you get paid. So there's all sorts of different things, but if you have a question about any of them, as I say, just let us know.
Yes. It's really important to be looking at this. I think what's really interesting is with BTC right now, that consolidation period is a fun area. Like it's kind of cool because it's just chilling there, and I'm kind of waiting for it to kind of come down.
I know.
Now, and so with that, like it's gonna make the whole entire market come down. I'm looking at right now a lot of our where are they at? A lot of our meme coins right now, they're kind of coming down all into the areas that we've talked about, down at those lower levels. And so like I'm kind of expecting it to kind of, it's looking nice. It's like, you know, I'm looking at these going, they're coming into these areas that I like. Like it's just, I'm like, all right, these are good areas.
Yeezy?
Now let's, well, no, Yeezy, not so much. But I mean, again, if Yeezy comes down to like in the 20 millions to 30 millions, I'm gonna buy a little. I mean, honestly, like it, you know, like it, again, remember, Yeezy went all the way up to like almost $1 billion, right? Like it was crazy how much money they went to. So I'm just kind of like waiting and seeing. Now, granted, it's back at the 46 mil, but if this thing pops up to maybe 400 mil, you know, and
it's still it's still a 45 million market cap, and it's down 99%.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what it's down 99%. It's down a lot.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, even the political coins here, it's really interesting. I mean, like when you look at Trump, right? Trump is still sitting like at almost at a $1 billion market cap. And the peak, I think it got up to, it was like 20 or $15 billion. You know, so I mean, like a 15x on a, you know, political meme coin is, it just makes sense to me. Comes down, if we could get it down at that 400 million, that's the jam right there.
That's the jam, Pedro says.
That is the jam. I'm looking, I'll put some of that on my toast. Eat it all day. You know? But real interesting to see what's going to happen as we start to move forward with a lot of these meme coins. Pro list, boom. Caw. Let's see what's going on with Caw. Caw's playing down at these lower levels. But nice, we're starting to see it just kind of.
I haven't even heard of anyone trading on Kronos lately.
Yeah. You know, I mean, if you look at Crow is down at these lower levels as well. So it's just one of those things that I'm just like, oh, come on. No, that's not correct. Oh, this is EOS. Bro, I was like, that isn't correct. You know, you look at the monthly, you can see that the sellers are kind of dying off again. You can see here it's a similar situation. Shoot up, sellers kind of die, and then you see it kind of, once it gets to around, you know, like a couple, what is that? Oh, it's not one to show it. Why is it not showing it? Oh, it's not one.
What's that?
Let's do it. Why? Let's try this. Once this gets to like the lows on volume, like when you look at these, I'm waiting for it to get down into these lower levels here on the sell-off here, and then we should see again another pump. We'll see it consolidate for a few months, and then probably beginning of the year, maybe probably after. So I don't know. I mean, I hate to give time periods exact, but I'm honestly March, April. If we're down at these lower levels, we talked about these. I mean, if it gets down to 9 cent, you know, that's that area right here that it's just kind of flirting with, you know, even potentially 8 cent area. If it comes down to that area, just kind of come down, consolidate, push back up. But if we see that, what will we see on the on the Kronos chain here. We'll see everything kind of just pick up and almost exponentially push up. So that's why I'm looking at call potentially. Corgia, what was it? Corgi. It was, yeah, that's what it was, like Corgi AI. That was the other one. I'm kind of coming down to these lower levels. So yeah, that's about it.
Pedro, we only got a couple of minutes left in the show. I got the timer up there and the thing if you want to pay attention to that. But as I always like to do when we have a new viewer that's interactive with us, Ibrahim, thanks for joining us. How'd you find us? How'd you find our feed over there on the Facebook? Always interested in that, because if you were able to find it, then if we can, if I can focus on that a little bit, maybe other people similar to you. And where in the world are you coming to us from? You coming to us from North America? Coming to us from Asia? Wherever it is. We have viewers from all over. We have viewers from Oklahoma, Manitoba. I'm currently in Canada right now.
Northern Canada.
Pedro's in New England. So we have viewers from all over. Crypto Unicorn says, Pedro finally has a good conversation talking to himself, talking about AI.
Who said that?
Me. Crypto Unicorn.
That's
no, but I do that too. I do it when you put it on speaking. Put Grok on speaking mode, and while you're driving, and I'll do things like Pedro. I'll just say, hey, tell me a story about a guy who's an ex-military guy who's now in the spy agency trying to keep 1982 Soviet Union from invading Europe. And make it a 15-minute read or something like that, and it'll come up with lots of cool stories all the time. Make that really time pass. I know. Tis Coolio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it's December 29th. Pedro and I normally go to 2 o'clock. We're only going another 5 minutes here today because of obligations in the real world, as they say. Entirely possible. We'll be on the air tomorrow, also. But Pedro, as far as what we need, we still need some things to happen here first. Let's see. Let me get the dashboard out here. We still need 3 more hours after today's show. 3 more hours of broadcasting this month and 1.2 hours of premium. So I gotta crank out a premium episode one of these evenings here to get that done. But we hit our number of raids. We hit hours watched. We hit unique chatters this month. All the good things. Nice, that type of stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I saw there's this viral thing going about Travis Kelce. What is it? Yeah, I think it's Travis Kelce, the football player, dating Taylor Swift, Swifties, Taylor Swift, and algorithm. And he goes. What's funny is it's leaning towards how you said he would change, but Travis Kelce went from looking like he sells vape cartridges behind a 7-Eleven to looking like he made homemade candles and cries after intercourse. And I'm because there's he's totally changed his look, like majorly. And but part of me is like, well, he's in a real relationship, and like he's like, she's worth billions of, well, close to billions. She's worth a lot more money than him. That's for sure. And will keep making a lot more money than him.
I know. So she owns the rights to all of her songs now. I think she finally bought back all the rights. And so she's just going to be a money printing. She's already a money printing machine. Yeah, soon she'll be like the Treasury, just.
She is. Well, she's. It's interesting. Is she really? I always say this. Actually, we don't know, but if Kanye West hadn't went up there and just was like, she first got what was that, new artist of the year, best new artist of the year. And there's, she was just a country singer. She was even a pop singer. I wouldn't even known who she was. That just made her viral famous, and people started listening to her. So it's interesting to see. I think she would have been still a successful woman, right? But I just don't think that she would have been that big of a deal. And without what's his name, Kanye West, really hitting or making those comments about her. Interesting. But yeah, it's just, there's this picture of her, and it's just funny, dude. Like, this is it right here. See it? It's just, that's great.
Hold on, hold it up. I gotta switch back to your screen real quick.
It's like perfect, dude. Like the dog, boom. And then,
Look at this ridiculous picture of him. I gotta get me.
The thing is it real though? Like, that's the thing. Is it real?
Who knows?
Everything that I look at now, I'm always skeptical. This is AI. Is it AI? I don't know if it's AI. It's still good. Anyhow, enough with that.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the show's come to an end. Didn't get a lot of information out to you today, but talked about Bitcoin, talked about the end of the month. We'll come back tomorrow and do the same thing. Look for us at a different time tomorrow because Pedro is off in the middle of Tuesdays. Although I might be on for an hour or so just to make sure we get the right enough hours in the month. I might do a premium. That's probably what I'll do tomorrow afternoon, is a premium event so we get that time. And then look for Pedro and I tomorrow night on the Space Lounge on an evening show. Anyway, thanks for everyone that joined us today. Really appreciate it. Even on these short shows, we still have a lot of fun talking about things, especially all that theft in Minnesota.
That is it.
Tomorrow we'll talk. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how you can vote in Minnesota while not even being a citizen. That's right. They figured that out, that you can do that, and they have been. Talk about voter fraud. Yeah, they figured it out. They just admitted it, and the government admitted it. They're like, yeah, that's a problem with our system. Anyway,
Really?
ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you today. Yep, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. Man in the box next to me, Mr. Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow.